muscles and charisma. He had a fully fledged membership at Virgin Gym. He had kebabs for breakfast, protein shakes for lunch, and a boost juice for dinner. Oh my goodness. And
Gym junkie, of course. He's so strong he even exploded the stage.
That's right.
You might recognise his face from the Old Spice commercials.
That's right. One day Joshua called two of his top spies, Agent 008 and Agent 007, to suss out the land of Canaan. Heeding Joshua's instructions, the spies set out to see what top secret plans they could uncover. The city was called Jericho, but was commonly known as Jericho.
Jericho, you know. Residents of Jericho loved playing Jenga. They played Jenga all day long. They even built their city to look like a giant game of Jenga.
Ooh. The king of Jericho was a cunning.
Oh, hang on. We forgot to replace the king.
That's right.
He got sick after one of those kebabs.
That's right. That's where the kebab went. Well, you know what? Obviously, this is a play that has a lot of work that's gone into it and has been based and referenced from our Bible college. So if we're going to go down, let's take the principal with us. Who thinks the king needs to be our principal? Mark Hopkins in the Bible College. Let's get him up. Get him a crown.
Get him a crown and
dress that man in royalty. The legend, Mark Hopkins.
Does this mean he approves of all the biblical references?
That's right. That's right. I figured if he's on our side, we should be fine. Well, that's right. The king of Jericho was a cunning old fox. And as soon as the spies had entered the land, he could smell them. He knew they were there.
So does that mean that they all got caught?
No, Nathan. That would end the story too early. Rahab told the king. Indeed, Rahab. There she is, beautiful Rahab. Rahab told the king. Oh wait, I've asked ahead. My bad. There was a lady in the city named Rahab. She sided with the Israelites and knew that God had given them Jericho. So she hid the agents in the roof of a house so the king couldn't find them.
The cunning old fox was stumped.
Indeed he was. Rahab told the king that the spies had used their secret wristwatch helicopters to fly out and away from the city. She said that if they left straight away, they could catch them. So the king left after the spies. Let's give it up for the mighty king. The man. The spies were quite surprised with Rahab's Jenga skills and were grateful for her help. They asked how they could repay her back. They offered her a fruit basket for her and her family. The entire DVD collection of 007. Even a Colour Your World voucher for 2013.
But as she was already registered, she politely declined, asking for a men's conference voucher instead for her husband.
Nathan, once again, she wasn't married. That's a big part of the story.
So embarrassing.
That's another story for another day. All she really wanted was her family to be safe when the Israelites came.
So the spies made a deal with her. They said if she hung a red flag in her window, that her family would all be safe. And what a red flag it is, Nick.
That's a championship flag right there. Symbolises strength, prosperity,
courage.
That's right.
The
victory.
Premierships.
Fantastic. The glory days. The spies returned to Joshua to tell him all that they had seen. The Lord has given us the whole land, they said, for all the people are terrified of us.
So the next day, Joshua and all the people of Israel began the journey to Jericho. A few days later,
when Joshua was near the town of Jericho, he looked up and he saw. He saw. It's beautiful, isn't it?
I don't know if he's meant to be upside down, Nick. Is anyone a paramedic?
First aid on standby, please.
I never knew that's how God knocked over the big wall.
All part of the plan. This is well rehearsed. A man standing in front of him with a sword in hand. Joshua went up to him and demanded, "Are you friend or foe?" "Neither one," he replied. "I am commander of the Lord's army." At this, Joshua fell face to the ground in reverence. Joshua.
Face to the ground in reverence.
Joshua. Yes, that's right. Joshua was a disobedient lad, but he got the picture. He knew what needed to be done. At that, he was still on the ground. Alright, we're going to move on. Joshua asked the commander of the king's army, "What would you like me to do?" At that, the angel said, "Take off your sandals, for the place where you were standing is holy." So Joshua did what he was told.
Oh, it takes a brave angel to get a man looking like that to take his shoes off.
That is right. Now the gates of Jericho were tightly shut because the people were afraid of the Israelites.
No one was allowed to go in, and no one was allowed to go out.
But the Lord said to Joshua, "I have given you Jericho, its king, and all its strong warriors, you and your fighting men." Yes, ninja skills.
Hey, I didn't know he was in.
Look at that. Darth Vader. I thought he was a bad guy. Who knew? "You and your fighting men should march around the town once a day for 6 days. 7 priests will walk ahead, each carrying a trumpet." Whoa, wait, guys! Trumpets, not crumpets!
Oh, Nick, they're so tasty though.
We're all friends here. Thank you. Here you go. Go get your trumpet.
On the 7th day, you were to march around the town 7 times with the priests blowing the trumpets. When you hear the priests give one long blast on the trumpet, have all the people shout Jenga as loud as they can. Then the walls of the town will collapse and the people can charge straight into the town.
That's right. After Joshua spoke to the people, the 7 priests with the trumpets started marching in the presence of the Lord, blowing the trumpets as they marched.
For those Israelites, they sure knew how to partay.
They sure did, and they look good too. Actually, one of these Israelites, he looks familiar. It is Disco James!
Those moves are funky and fresh.
Joshua said, "Do not shout, do not even talk. Not a single word. Not a single word from any of you until I shout. Then shout." So they marched around the town once that day.
They did this for 6 days with no talking? My goodness, Nick, that must have been hard, especially for all of the ladies.
It's a big call, Nate. I'm just going to separate myself from you just a little bit more in case of the lightning bolt.
My wife's in the crowd.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Good luck for tonight, Nate. And this is where and then on the 7th day, the Israelites got up at dawn and marched around the town as they had done before. But this time, they went around 7 times. The 7th time around, as the priests sounded the long blast of their horns, Joshua commanded the people, "Shout, for the Lord has given you the town, Jericho."
Only Rahab and the others in her house will be spared, for she protected our spies.
When the people heard the sound of the trumpets, they shouted as loud as they could, "Jenga! Jenga! Come on, people! Jenga!" Suddenly, the walls of Jericho collapsed, and the Israelites charged captured Jericho. Joshua said to the two spies, keep your promise. Go to Rahab's house, get her out, along with her family.
So agents 008 and 009 went in and brought out Rahab, her father, her mother, her brothers, her sisters, her cousins, her aunties, and everyone that was in her house.
The promised land had been handed over. Rahab and her family were saved. Joshua and Israel had been faithful to God's instructions, and the land was now theirs.
Then Disco Chase reappeared, and all the people of Israel celebrated.
It was party time.
He's one of the pastors. This one's a pastor. And so the one with the golden hair, he's a pastor
And that
too.
is our annual animated Bible story. Let's give it up for the team.
Come on, I reckon here, and I don't know how it turned out in Melbourne, we should give them another.